That happened first. Why do we know that? There's biblical evidence. The reason that you know why chapter 17 to 21 happened first, right after this, is because during that time, if you read those chapters, it talks about a couple of people. First of all, it talks about Jonathan, which is the grandson of Moses. So it had to be during this time. Then it talks about Phineas, which is the grandson of Levi, the priest, implying that all these events happened first. It was during this apostasy, that during this time right here, that these events happened. And then probably the first judge was probably Samson. And then we go to Othniel here, and so on. So it wasn't written chronologically. Why do I say that? Because there was a long period of time where there was no leaders. There was a long period of time that Israel was without leadership until Othniel and other judges were raised up. You get where I'm going here? There was no successor of Joshua at this point. Why do I say all this? Because we want to build a greater church. This was their church. This was their movement at this point. And they had to suffer greatly because of weak leadership or no leadership at all. It took many years until the Lord would raise up a judge after severely disciplining the whole nation of Israel at this point. Now, where does the campus ministry come in? The campus ministry is a way to build a greater church. It's the leadership would come to the church. Primary fountain of leadership in the, say, in any movement in the world is can group did not grow. You get to a point where you don't have the leadership to grow the group. The solution is a campus ministry. Why? Why the campus ministry? Because when you convert these talented kids between the ages usually of 17 to 25 years old, you have time to train them. You have time to train their character. You have time to mold their vision. You have time to walk with them on campus. If you get the same kid or the same student once he's 30 years old, working a job, married, it's very hard for them to go into the ministry. The exception is Tommy Watt right there, amen? Yeah. He's still campus, amen? At 30 years old, amen? Come on, Tommy Watt. Good guy right there. So, this is the way to fix it, guys. We need to convert sharp, talented campus students all the time so we can propel and give the fountain of leadership to the next generation. For example, Sao Paulo. We have many great campus ministries around the world. I can speak for the one I lead, amen? So, in Sao Paulo, because we have a campus ministry focus, we have a whole bunch of leaders in their 20s that have evangelist and women's ministry leader potential. I counted 17 right here. I have 17 leaders in my church, or I already sent them out, that are in their 20s, early 20s, that have already been appointed evangelists and women's ministry leaders, or are already on their way to being evangelists and women's ministry leaders and have the talent to be evangelists and women's ministry leaders. Amen? For example, we have Cayon Caro, who are leading the church in Rio. We have Tulio Baitza, who are leading the church right now in Bogota, Colombia. They're both 23 years old, leading the church in Bogota, Colombia. The situation there is a little bit rough, So we're sending them another couple, Gabriel and Amanda, another evangelist woman ministry couple that they're 19 years old. They're engaged. They're going to get married here in a few months. So we're going to have two couples there in Bogota, and then hopefully Gabriel and Amanda will take over one or the other neighboring churches. We have Danilo and Carol, which are both, he's 25, she's 24. They're in Dallas right now training, and then God willing they're going to plant the church in Lima, Peru. Amen? We have Vinny and Bia. They're both 23 years old. This is a monster couple. They lead our campus ministry. They lead USP there, one of our regions. We have Luis and Malu. They're both 21 years old. And they're going to lead our South region. They're already part-time interns. We have Luca Gibeo, amen? Who's 23 years old. He leads our English ministry, and he's dating the incredible sister, amazing woman of God, Sofia Sirokina, amen? And the whole point with them is that he's going to finish school in the middle of of next year, and they're going to come here to build the churches in Europe, amen? Which is going to be awesome. We also have Gabriel, another single guy. He's 20 years old. He's from USP as well. He already decided to go into the full-time ministry. We have a girl named Deborah with the hair that Kip likes. She's an amazing girl. She has a lot of potential to be a women's ministry leader. She's 21 years old. She decided to go into the ministry. And then we have a young couple that just got baptized after our conference in March. Lucas and Leticia. Kip and Elena don't even know them. They already decided to go into the full-time ministry. Talented kids from USP, both of them. And they're going to be training in the East region, leading a sector. So that's 17 leaders, guys. And in a church of 237 right now at this point. And that church, and we're working to build more and more campus leaders. What is my role? My role in that church is to build the campus ministry. That's my role. Now, the church is only 1/3 campus ministry. Why? Because you get collateral baptisms. You baptize the parents, you baptize dads, you baptize singles, you baptize marrieds. So as you build the campus ministry, you build your whole church. Do you want to have how do you fix your singles ministry? Baptize campus people. Once they graduate, they go into the singles. They're going to give good contribution, amen? And they're going to be good leaders there. How do you fix your team ministry? Baptize campus students. They're going to go into the team ministry, and they're going to help disciple the kids, amen? How do you fix your married ministry? Campus ministry. Get them married. They're going to the marrieds, and they have fire, they have zeal, they're fired up for God, amen? It's not the only fountain of leadership, but it's the only fountain of leadership that can multiply leaders. It's the only, and that's what happened with the Israelites. The Israelites did not multiply leaders. And because they did not multiply leaders, they were not able to conquer the promised land completely. Only partially. They did great things, but they did not do greater things. I lead a campus, I'm 44 years old. I lead a campus Bible talk. What do? I put my hat backwards, and I put my backpack, and it takes away 2 years from me. I'm 42 years old, amen? Yeah. So, I lead my campus Bible talk. That's my role. My other role is to get into difficult campus studies with the campus leaders, so I could train them to do studies. The other thing I do is that I want to preach less. So I need to become less, and they need to become more. We have 5 services in Sao Paulo every Sunday. I don't preach at any of them. I'm preaching a little bit now in the South, but I'm going to get Luis here when he finishes this hard semester, and I'm only going to preach on staff. Why? Because I don't want to preach? No, I like to preach, amen? But my passion is not preaching. My passion is training. I don't need to preach. I want to train. That's what I want to do. That's what God has called me to do. Amen? And what I do is that I go to the services, I have them preach. They preach. And I give them tons of feedback afterwards. Tons of feedback during and after. I go to one region, I go to another region, and that's how we're building the church there. I believe these 17 potential full-time, some are already full-time, most are part-time interns already. I believe all these will become evangelist women's ministry leaders. But it's not going to stop there. We're going to keep multiplying more and more campus students. Amen. Now, why do not many churches do this? This is the question. Because it's hard. It's hard. Campus ministry is hard. It takes a lot of strength for you to go there. Emotionally, it takes a lot of strength spiritually, and it takes a lot of perseverance. These kids are prideful. These kids are arrogant. Most are atheistic. But you gotta have faith that wherever you put your foot, God will give you victory. Let's go to Exodus chapter 35. Exodus 35. I want to explain a little bit more why campus. Exodus 35, we're going to read about a talented guy here. Here in Exodus 35, they're building the tabernacle. So, you need a guy to build it. Exodus 35, verse 30. Then Moses said to Israel, see, the Lord has chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and has filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, with all kinds of skills, to make artistic designs for the work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of artistic crafts. And he has given both him and Oholiab, son of Ahishamach, of the tribe of Dan, the ability to teach others. This guy, Bezalel, was super talented. The Bible says, check this out, that God filled him up with his Spirit. In the Old Testament, when God fills you up with his Spirit, more than likely is talents. Here it's obviously that it's talents. God's Spirit filled Bezalel and gave him talents. What kind of talents? Understanding, wisdom, knowledge, skills. God gave him a whole bunch of talents. Come on, bro, that's good. And these talents were used to build the tabernacle. We need to baptize campus kids because we need talent in our churches. We need talent. Sometimes we make a mistake. And we're talking to church leaders, amen? I don't want to hurt your feelings, but sometimes you put someone on staff that's not talented enough. And that's your fault. Because you put him on, and then that person fails. Why? Because he doesn't have the talent to do the work. If you would have put me to build the tabernacle, it would have failed. I don't have a lot of artistic ability. I don't know how to cut stones. Amen? You need the right guy to do the right job. So here, God chose the right guy and gave him a lot of talents. Now some people, well, I mean, you're thinking about talent. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm not the most talented guy, but I don't need to be. I need to be wise in building the talent around me. We need talented people that can lead churches. What talents are we looking for? We're looking for intellectual talents. Yes, we are. But more so, we're looking also for EQ, emotional intelligence, emotional talents. The ability for that young campus student to relate emotionally to people, to understand them. Sometimes you convert an engineer and the guy's a nerd and cannot relate to people. Amen? He's a great guy. Amen. You go to heaven. Amen. But he's not to be an evangelist. You need to convert an engineer who's social. An engineer who has social talents. That's what we have in Sao Paulo. You need to convert people that are social and that are intelligent at the same time. The most important talent is what recruiters look in young people they hire, is the ability to learn. You want people that have the ability to learn, the ability to adapt, the ability to go to a difficult situation and deal with difficult financial situations, deal with difficult characters, deal with the remnant. You want a problem solver. You want a thinker. But sometimes, hey, I'm just going to get the easy baptism, and that's it. Well, you're not going to get the leader, and you're not going to build a greater church. You're not going to build a greater church. Another talent that we miss sometimes, and it's the talent of a good upbringing. Some of us did not have a good upbringing, and amen, glory be to God. We're leaders, amen. But all of us work on our kids having a good upbringing. See, that's a talent. The talent of a good upbringing, having a nuclear family, mom and dad, that is a great talent. Why? Because oftentimes the issues in top leadership is their character. They don't have good relational ability. They can't really relate to different personalities because they have drama from their past. The talent of a good upbringing is paramount. It's super important in kids. Case in point, Sofia Sirotkina, amen? I mean, I'm sure, I don't know Oleg, I know a little bit about Oleg's background, but probably Oleg did not have the most incredible upbringing. And neither did Aliona, amen? But they still became world sector leaders, amen? That's awesome, amen? Because they were able to overcome their past. But it takes a lot of work to overcome your past. It takes, and it jades you, and it is a cross you have to carry, and that cross is to God's glory, amen? But it is a talent you don't have. We need to convert people that have the talent of a good upbringing. And usually the kids that can get into these universities is so difficult. They need a good upbringing. They need mom and dad. They need, this is an incredible thing that we need to understand as well. Ability to learn, ability to adapt to situations. It's very difficult to convert these people, but it's totally possible with God. It's totally possible with God. We've done it in Sao Paulo. I know it's been done, and it is being done in other churches. Amen? Amen. But it is the key to building greater churches. Since we're here in the European world sector, how are we going to evangelize Europe? We need tons of talented campus students being converted in each church. We need to not be lazy and just convert the easy baptism. You need to go for the hard baptism. The 4-year schools, or here the 5-year schools, and convert these kids. I love Europe, guys. I mean, I was born here in this continent. I was born in Madrid. I want Europe to get converted, amen? But it's going to take a different focus. It's going to take a different mindset. It's going to take a different skill level. It's going to take us buying into the campus ministry. I think in the world, Kip has talked about this a lot. Kip is all about campus ministry, amen? Kip understands this very well, but I don't know if all of us understand it at a heart level. I think we agree with it here. Yeah, we got to convert campus, but I don't know if we agree here. And we've done the work to be able to convert these kids. In conclusion, I'm giving you the theoretical, amen? Next class I'll give you a practical, so how to really do this, amen? But I really want to encourage you to look back at the Israelites here. Look back at the book of Judges. Understanding the history in the book of Judges at the beginning, they were in a state of apostasy for many, many years until a leader was raised up. Why didn't they conquer the promised land completely? Because the leadership was weak. They weren't talented enough to deal with the situations. They didn't have the focus, the spirituality to be able to deal with the difficult situations, which is destroying the enemy. Amen? So I want to encourage all of us to understand that we indeed need to build, and we need to build greater churches. But with all my heart, I believe that you build greater churches as you build a greater campus ministry, and to God be the glory. Amen.
Give it up one more time for Raul. After such an incredible charge, we're going to sing Trust and Obey.